Hey there, welcome to Turntable Guy. On the bench today, we have a JVC QL-A51, Q standing for quartz. Any quartz lock drive is always a good thing. This is a record shop that is local to me that brings in their turntables for servicing before they go out for sale. Uh-oh. We have dreaded platter matte rot. Okay. If you can see here, those are the natural oils of the rubber that are released over time on some of the cheaper platter mats. And this one, as you can see, is hard as a rock. So this is garbage. I'll mention that to the gentleman when he comes for pickup. But in the meantime, I guess we can nuke that. Here, hit the ground there. So this obviously direct drive system here. Looks like it's a auto return, so semi-automatic. It's got a straight arm. I'd say mid-80s here, maybe 84-ish, 83. Just by the looks of things. It doesn't have a P-mount yet, so that is a sign as to its age. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's quite a bit of that oil all over the platter, so that's going to have to be cleaned as well. So let's just give it a quick once over here, see what we're dealing with. He has not turned this on. Most of these guys get turntables as part of a record collection, so I don't even think they test them. Okay, so we got here quartz lock on and off, so you can turn it on and off. So you've got some pitch control here if you want. Ooh, okay, that's very tight. Oh, that's kind of interesting though. I'm not sure if that comes through on camera. There's a little dial here that shows you how much you are from zero pitch, how many degrees, and then there's plus 6% and there's minus 6%. This pitch control is very stiff. Probably have to give that a nice cleaning. Kind of like the SL1200 where you have the slider. You get plus 6 and minus 6. This one's just on a knob here, and then it's got the dial. That's nice. It is a hefty turntable. Good weight to it. Quality for sure. I like JVC turntables. I think they're great value for the money. All right, let's see here. So this should be an automatic start as far as just moving the arm over. And yes, queuing is via the front control here. Nice slow drop. That's good to see. Now let's check our reject. So the button has stayed down. I'm hoping it pops up. Whoa! Did it ever pop up? Okay. Just going to try that one more time. Oh, that's better. I think we just got to stick a sticky button there. Oh, it wants to return. Yeah, looks like the button was just sticky. Yeah, it is sticky. We'll have a look at that. Definitely a grease situation there. Quartz lock is right on the money, by the way. I can see or can you guys maybe see that? It's looks like 3 strobes down there, 3 lines of the strobe. Oh, okay. You have to look at it from the front. And the pitch is horrible, by the way. So this is filthy. So this is very, very dirty. So we'll have to clean that. But quartz lock is right on the money. That works. That's a good sign. Last thing we want to check is our auto return. And it is tripping, which is a great sign. So we've got a perfectly functioning turntable here. Let's just check 45 speed here. Yep, all good. Only thing is, looks like we got a few sticky controls. There's that stop button sticking down again. So sticky controls, dirty pitch, typical, 1980s turntable problems. Nothing that you can't fix, right? Okay, let's start working on this one. We're going to obviously clean off the grease. Well, that came off nicely. So this is a big direct drive motor. Feels pretty substantial. Feels okay. Now let's see what we got for a cartridge. There's a classic. That's an AT70 Audio-Technica. It looks pretty dirty, but I do see a little bit of stylus left on there, so we'll definitely clean that. Under this black cover here, this little, let's just remove it. There should be a screw there to set either auto return position. Well, it's only going to be auto return position because it's not an auto start. So that's your adjustment for auto return. The feet are okay. They look a little compressed, but they look okay. And let's put the cover on, flip her over, and have a look. Probably fix this ground. That's a bit ridiculous. What I usually do is if it's too short, I will extend it. I'll put a little piece of wire on there, just extend it to the same length as the RCA cables. That's really short. Chassis is grounded as well. We got a bunch of screws on this one, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to remove these, and I'll be right back. Okay, a lot of screws on this one, and you have to remove the 4 feet as well to reveal the insides here. Okay, here we go. Okay, having a quick peek. Looks like everything is in order. I don't see anything glaring on first look here. Lots of caps. Couple potentiometers here, undoubtedly for adjusting something or another. Perhaps speed. I usually don't mess a lot with potentiometers on a quartz lock unit. That is something you don't want to mess with, right? There's usually a crystal on here for the quartz, and that's how it achieves perfect 33 or 45. Motor here, grounded. That's our main micro switch, obviously to activate our motor. Power supply board, motor control board. Controls are near the front here. What is this one? This was queuing, not the front right, which is on our front left right now. This would be our cut. So this is the sticky one here. So I think we're going to want to pull this one out and see why it's sticky. Here's our quartz lock switch. This is our dial. And here's our potentiometer for pitch control. So we're going to clean that. And here's our 3345 switch. We'll see if we have access to get some contact cleaner into that as well. First of all, though, I do want to see if we can zoom in just a little bit here and get the big driver out of the way. And we're going to work in this area here and see why this button is sticky. It's probably sticky because it hasn't been used in a very long time. So there's just this metal post here. We'll just move that aside. Hopefully it doesn't fall out from the other end. Nope, should be okay there. And we're queuing here as well. I don't think we have to touch that though. I think all we need to do is to move this over, move that over, and that button should release. And there it is. And there goes the spring. So really, I don't think there's anything here that's preventing it from sliding. I'm just going to clean it, and I'll clean it, and I'll put maybe a little bit of grease on there or something just to make it move better. So I'm just going to clean it. Just a little bit of Windex here. It could just be just dirt around the button itself, right? And we'll clean inside the buttonhole here, like that. So, it's, a little dirty and dusty. And I'm going to grab a Q-tip, and I'm just going to clean down this hole. There's no grease from the factory at all. And let's put it back in and see what happens. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's not sticking anymore. What do I want to put there? I don't like spraying lubricants where there were no lubricants. But I will, okay, I'm going to put the slightest dab of synthetic grease. Like, we're talking a minimal amount here. Just to, pull this out again. Just so it doesn't stick again. And I'm going to put it here. Just like that. There. Perfect. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So I'm pushing it from the underside, and it's not sticking. So good. That's it. Like I mentioned, these record dealer guys, they don't, at least the guys I know, they don't sell them for a lot of money. They'll probably sell a turntable like this for $100. And that's, that's great value. These are really good turntables. Okay, so let's do pitch control now, and there's nothing really exciting about this one. This is just a matter of spraying this puppy from the front here and loosening it up. We'll get our can of contact cleaner. Use whatever brand you like. And we'll just spray inside the pot, just like that. And then we'll work it back and forth. Again, if you got a quartz lock turntable like this, the chances of you touching the pitch control are 0. Unless you're a DJ, and I seriously doubt a DJ is using this turntable, you're not using this. So that's why it's acting up, because it's probably never been touched. The quartz lock has probably been on 100% of the time here. Other than the curiosity of playing with the pitch control for the first time, no one is touching it. All right, that's great. And I do want to clean, if we can, I forgot to put this back on. I want to see if I can clean the quartz lock button, because that's probably never been touched either. It's right here. And I don't know if it's a switch that's open, but we'll have a look. Yeah, we can definitely get some cleaner into the top here. There we go. And just give that a good workout. There we go. Lastly, here's our 3345 switch. Right in the front corner here. Right there. And it does have a hole here to get some cleaner in, so we'll give that a shot. Right from the front. Perfect. Very good. Let's service our motor. Looks like the whole board has to come up. Okay, so pretty standard electric motor. You're going to want to pop that off, just like that. I don't want to twist these wires because they're kind of soldered on, so I'm just going to move this over like that. Sorry if it's not in the best view there. That's as good as it's going to get, so I'm going to clean out that pit. Get a little bit of alcohol. Clean this out. Here's your old grease, old oil. I'd rather see this than nothing come out, so I'm glad to see that there's some kind of lubricant in there. Just clean off the end of the axle here. There's a little bit of oil there. A little bit of, looks kind of thick and gross there. Okay. And then once your bearing well is dry, nice and clean, we're going to apply a little bit of electric motor oil. I'm going to use some 3-in-1 oil engineered for electric motors. And this is going to be one of those cases where you do not need a lot. There's a couple drops. One more for good measure. You know me, I always overdo it. I just put a little bit on the axle here. And drop her back in. And as you can see, it will slowly go down. as the oil, or as the axle forces its way down, and the oil starts to come up, and it fills the pit and all the way around the axle, so it's well lubricated. Now that could take a little bit of time if you overfill things like I do. You can push down to aid it, and if it forces its way back up, you've probably overfilled it. So you can see how it just wants to naturally come back up, right? So anyway, let me I'm going to get a little bit of oil out of here, and I'll be right back. All right, we're ready to mount our motor again. Our motor has sunk down into the pit. A little trick I do sometimes if it doesn't want to go down is I put the platter on top, and then I give it a spin, and it'll spin for 30 seconds or so. And once it stops, then you'll kind of see the axle go down into the bearing. It's a little trick I use sometimes if you've overfilled it like I do. Our screws are over here. I also put the screws in loosely at first, just to make sure the motor is lined up correctly. Because it doesn't matter where this sits. There's going to be a tiny bit of play sometimes. And because the auto return gear is mounted directly on the spindle, you want to make sure it's the correct distance away from the auto return cam. Just put them in loosely and then play a little bit. We're in a good spot there. And now torque them down. There we go. All good. I don't see any signs of any other nasty grease in here at all. I had a quick peek at the legs of the capacitors because these are Matsushita capacitors, and I don't see any corrosion on the legs, which I have seen in the past on these types of caps. If this is your turntable and you're buying it and you want to ensure longevity, go ahead, change them all out. Just pull them out. It'll cost you like $5 in parts. You can do the power supply as well. There's a little bit of capacitor glue over here. Not a lot. It's not really touching anything, but it has gone crusty, as you can see. So that's something you want to scrape off. So it's not really touching anything else here, but if you do see it in the path of a diode or a resistor or something like that, or another cap, it can corrode the legs. So you might want to remove the cap and clean the board and then recap it. All right. But I would say this one is pretty much done. That's as far as we're going here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to button it up. We will clean the stylus, set up the turntable. And before we do that, though, I just spotted something that I don't like. And right here under the cable board, there is a little pad here. And if you can see, I'm going to zoom that in because it's pretty important. You can see there's a little bit of sponge there. Now, this turntable was auto-returning properly, but if you have a situation, because it's got a rubber pad and then a little bit of sponge in the front. If you have a situation where it's not auto returning, this is where you want to look, because this cam comes back, pushes on the arm and puts it back in the home position, right? So this foam, sometimes, if it's just all foam, needs to be replaced. I noticed that a lot in Pioneer turntables. This is rubber, so that is good and solid. And there was just the slightest bit of foam in the front of it here. Again, we tested it and it did auto return correctly, so I'm not too concerned about that. I thought this was all foam, but it's not. It's got a rubber pad there, so it should be fine. But if you've got a situation where you open up a turntable and you see the foam's deteriorated and it's only foam, replace that. And you can use, I buy these furniture pads with the sticky base, and I just cut them to size, put them on, and they last forever. All right, so let me button this back up, and we'll give it one last test. Okay, we're back on our feet here, and we've got our AT70. This is a stylus of now that I clean it, I notice it's got barely any needle left. Sometimes the dust that builds up on it can trick the naked eye into thinking that there's actually needle there. I'm going to have a quick peek under my magnifying glass. Well, there's a nub. Does this need to be changed? I would say absolutely. And I don't know what the correct alignment is for this JVC, but I'm pretty sure it's not all the way forward. One school of thought is put the cartridge in the middle, because that's where the manufacturer usually mounts them. And I'll check the service manual to see if there's any actual mounting data, but we're going to get that realigned. I won't do it in the video because that's not what this is about. Let's just see if it makes any noise. I'm going to fix that ground wire as well. And let's see. I'm going to quickly set up this tone arm. If you want to achieve a nice balance, put your arm back, set your scale to 0 while holding the weight. And I'm just going to apply 2 grams on this one. And, oh, you know what? Let me wipe down this platter first before I do that sound check, because I have to put a platter mat down here and I don't want it to get greasy. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, I cleaned off the existing platter mat. I hit it with alcohol, got rid of all the grease, cleaned the platter itself. And we'll just throw on everybody's favorite record here. Queuing up. Move over. Just going to check our pitch control. Oh, that's moving so much nicer now. So smooth, easy to turn. I mean, this knob's not very easy to get your fingers on, and there's no more jumping around. The lights are nice and stable. Pitch is working beautifully. Quartz lock is perfect. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, that needs a needle. That's funny. It should stop. Well, just so you know, we do have sound in both channels, because you're still going to get sound even though there's no diamond. So we'll do that, and we'll probably order him a needle. I'm going to see if he wants to get a stylus. And let's just check our stop button here. Yeah, see how it's coming up now? Perfect. Okay. that is it for this one. So what it obviously needs a needle. It also needs a ground repair, and that's it. That is the JVC QL-A51 turntable. It's too bad we can't really hear what it sounds like, but I can tell you just by having worked on it, this is a solid turntable. Really nice quality. Looks extremely reliable. Typical JVC product. It's going to last you a very long time, and I think it's going to sound excellent as well. So that's it for this one, guys, and we will catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.